Hello Sagittarius, Elsie here to do a reading for you, my fire family. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I'm here to do a bonus read. I just want to say thank you for all the ways that you've been loving on me this week, and came back here with a bonus read. So bonus reads are usually read for the current energy or the future energy. I do not intend on reading into the past, and if you are someone who's been here before, you know that already. So welcome if you're brand new, and if you are someone who has been here before, you're the one that I'm just saying thank you to for all the ways that you've been clicking, viewing, subscribing, and being in the comments. Thanks for doing that. You know, we're growing here by leaps and bounds, and it's because of all of the tribes here. But thank you, Sagittarius, for doing your part. Let's find out what's going on for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sagittarius. What does Sag need to know? This could be for you for today, tomorrow, or a year from now. Tell me about Sag. We do have the King of Wands that is in the reverse. Somebody here is holding back, not taking action. Somebody here is not feeling inspired. What else do we need to know? We've got the Nine of Swords. Somebody is stuck in a cycle. Stuck in a cycle. I'm stuck here. I'm not taking action. I'm not putting any energy into anything here. The Nine of Swords is worry. I'm worried that I should be doing something that I'm not doing. Tell me more about Sagittarius. That could be your energy, Sag. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, King of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. I feel like for somebody here that I want to say that you're living in a cycle where you feel that you're stuck. We're looking for the Ace of Swords at this point because the Nine of Swords is here. And I feel like you keep going from the 1 to the 9 to the 1 to the 9, and you're stuck in this cycle of worry. You're looking too far into the future, Sag, and too far into the past. You need to learn to live in the present moment. And I feel like somebody here is having a hard time living in the present moment. The thing that is going to help you with living in the present moment is the Seven of Wands. It's learning how to stand your ground, but learning to do that in a very healthy way. And I feel like the healthy way is this person here who is deep into meditation, right? Somebody here who is protecting themselves from the outside world. The pink bubble is here. And we do have all of these wands at the bottom here. It's like friends and people and family and all the people that I feel that you help in life. I feel like they're all trying to get a little piece of your energy, and you are trying to keep them at bay. That's what it feels like here. You're trying to sort through this Nine of Swords energy. It feels like you're low on energy, I want to say, that you're not feeling inspired lately. I want to say that things are about to speed up, and this is just a temporary sort of funk that you're in. And I mean, I don't know, there's a lot going on planetarily, and I'm not an astrologer, but you might want to look into that because you might be going through ascension symptoms. You might be feeling exhausted. Possibly you are somebody who, who's feeling drained of energy because of this constant worry here. It's time for you to heal the self, and I'm going to say the way to heal the self is by meditation. Get deeply into the self and ignore what's going on around the perimeter. I want to say what's going on around the outside. We have the King of Swords, and so I feel that you're deep in thought here, and that's why you're not moving or going anywhere. I want to say that you're trying to resolve things in the mind. You're thinking about things that need to be done, need to be taken care of. You're going over facts, maybe phone calls or conversations. It feels like this is weighing really heavy on you, though. Somebody here has been on a really long journey of the mind. It feels like you've been, for the longest time, thinking and thinking and thinking. And I feel like you just need to get out of that energy. The only way you're going to get out of it, the only way you can get a break from that is by getting into meditation. Look, the one sword shows up. It's in the hand of the king. And we do have the one sword that shows up. And I feel like you're finally going to be able to drop these burdens here, this worry. And, you know, a lot of people stay in the Nine of Swords because they don't want the ending. They don't want the pain. They don't want it to come to an end. They're hoping that they're going to keep the door open on something. But I feel like all it's done is it's really given you a lot of hope that things will work out, but it feels like all it's given you is worry because you're looking too far into the future. When you're in the present moment, you're just really thinking about you. What can I do in this moment today to cull this worry from the past and the future that I have. And the only way to do that is by locking out the world and getting into some sort of practice, whether it's prayer or meditation or whatever that is. But it feels like if you do that, I feel like you will be dropping some sort of a burden that you've been carrying, and it's a mental burden, I feel, and it's weighing heavy on you. And the King of Wands in the reverse is telling me that it's like, because to me the Nine of Swords is like in the past, you're thinking about the past, that's kind of depressive or sad energy, and if you think too far in the future, that's anxiety. So it almost feels like you can't get up, or that maybe you sleep a lot. It feels like somebody here just really can't get up because they're just really overloaded in the mind. And I feel like it's time for you to drop those burdens here. You need to get into the present moment and just drop those burdens. Stop thinking about the past, stop thinking about the future. I mean, we all got to be prepared at some point for the future, financially and all those things, but you don't need to be worrying about things. I feel like this meditation here is going to give you some stability. It's going to balance your energies. We have the light and the dark horse here, and so we have these two horses that have a very different idea of what should be going on here. And I feel like it's, this person at the top of the chariot is keeping their balance. I want to say that getting in and out of meditation or prayer or whatever it is that you're doing, keeping yourself safe in the bubble so no one else can rock your energy, I'm going to say, because this person is staying pretty stable above the chariot here at the top of the chariot. And although the chariot's moving like faster than any other energy that's in the tarot, I feel like the only way you're going to be able to hold on is through meditation here. Tell me about the King of Wands being in the reverse, please. Tell me about the King of Wands being in the reverse for Sagittarius. We have the Hermit. We have the Hierophant, and we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, it's all the things that you're keeping inside. Look, keeping stuff inside gives you stress and anxiety, and it's going to make you sick. It's time to expel those things, and the only way to do it is to give your nervous system a break by getting into meditation, by calming the nervous system. I want to say that you're deep in thought here. It feels like you are somebody who is having some sort of a breakthrough with the higher self. That if you are somebody who is feeling exhausted, like you can't get out of bed, like you can't face people, I want to say that you are going through some sort of an awakening here. We do have the Hermit and the Hierophant, and it feels like you're going through some sort of a spiritual coming to self, or spiritual awakening, or spiritual realization that you can't keep everything under the surface anymore. You've got to expel it. You've got to say something. You can't just lay here and think and overthink. But the Seven of Swords tells me that there is something here that you're keeping hidden, that you're keeping under the surface here. Tell me about the Seven of Swords. Tell me about the Seven of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. It is some sort of angst or upset or disappointment that you have with someone that you were very close to, someone that you've known for a very long time, maybe a best friend or somebody who that you have emotional connection to. It feels like this is what you're going back and forth in the mind about. You're keeping all of this under the surface. You don't want to share it with anybody. I feel like, this is psychiatry. It feels like you do need to speak to somebody about it if you're not able to resolve it yourself. And I'm not telling you that you need to go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but look, so many people are willing to invest, $10 a day buying Starbucks, but they're not willing to invest whatever they need to invest in order to find a good psychologist. It's mental health it's the glue that holds everything together. Tell me why the King of Swords is here. We do have the Death card. There we are. We have the Death card, the Fool, and we have the Nine of Wands. I feel like the reason that you're exhausted is because you are going through some sort of transformation, Sagittarius. So if you're feeling like you just can't get, like you're just dragging yourself to work, or you're dragging yourself out with friends that want to have coffee with you, or it's like you're dragging yourself around the place, it's because you're heavily burdened with something that's on the mind, and I feel like you're about to release that. I want to say you're about to release that and have some sort of a fresh slate or a new beginning, and it's right around the corner. So I feel like there is something here that you're working out energetically within the self, and I feel like you will work it out. It feels like some of you will maybe enlist some help to work it out, someone to speak with, someone that can help you make sense of it. But for others of you, I feel like if you do that, the reason you're doing that is because you're in this energy of this death and rebirth energy, which means that you're sort of in the middle of a realization, or it looks like an awakening. You're in the midst of going through another ascension. Look, we don't just wake up once. We wake up once, and that's usually the hardest one. It's the worst one. But then we keep ascending. We keep having realizations, and we keep ascending over and over again. And I feel like I'm speaking to someone who is in the ascension process right now. You're about to birth some sort of a new beginning that is right around the corner. And that's why you're feeling, pardon me, so exhausted. Exhausted in the mind, but also exhausted in your energy levels. I feel like your energy levels are low. Tell me about the Nine of Swords, please. What is it that Sag is worrying about? Feels like you're stuck in the cycle of worry. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the World card. And we've got the Queen of Swords. Somebody liberated themselves from a situation and closed the door and walked away. So it feels like you're still attached to an idea from the past, from somebody who it was either you released yourself from the situation or they closed the door. Take it as it resonates for you. The Queen of Swords is somebody here who deals with things that are head over heart. I'm not really going to get my heart involved. We're not going to talk about this emotionally. The Queen of Swords is somebody who is very authentic. This person's a leader, and this person is also someone who is very highly intelligent. So they're very caring with the words that they use. They don't mean to offend, but they do mean to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth can be terrible, right? It can be really hard. So I feel like you finally have found the courage. With this Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords, we've got 10 swords here. You finally find the courage to drop whatever has been bothering you, whatever has been worrying you. I feel like you decide to stand up for yourself. You just stand up and you liberate yourself from the Nine of Swords energy by closing the door on something that you've been energetically connected to, although you've walked away from the situation or they've walked away from you. It feels like you're still connected there, or you were, until the Queen of Swords shows up and says, look, it's the end of the cycle. A lot of people don't want to go to the 10th sword because it's painful. It's painful and it's awful, and sometimes it doesn't feel good. But listen, once we come to the end of something and that thing finally truly does end with the World card, then we can finally start healing from it, right? We can release. It actually is it's like letting the pressure off. It's like it's like shaking up a Pepsi bottle and then popping the top. It's like letting the pressure off. And I feel like that's what this is here, that you're finally letting the pressure off by liberating yourself, your thoughts, and that you are closing the door on this situation where somebody may have abandoned you. Maybe you're dealing with abandonment issues. Tell me about the Ten of Wands. I feel like the abandonment issues are what was weighing heavy on you. You felt unwanted here. And I feel like that's what you're healing here. You're healing with the Four of Swords. The Seven of Pentacles tells me that you're picking another path. I feel like you're in this Ten of Wands for a really long time though. Maybe years even. But I feel like if you do decide to heal, whatever way you decide to do it, on your own or with some help, the Four of Swords tells me that you will get mental stability. Fours are about stability. It feels like you will get stability of the mind, and that will make you happy. This will be a joyous time. It'll be celebratory, and it feels like you're able to drop these wands finally, the energetic stuff that's been weighing you down. It feels like, I want to say, you're pretty stubborn. You didn't want to drop it. You didn't want to leave it. I just want to leave the door open. I'm sure that they're coming back. And I feel like you just terrorized yourself for way too long, Sag. Tell me about the Seven of Wands, please, for Sagittarius. Seven of Wands. I feel like this is where you get your relief from here, honestly, by tuning out the world and keeping yourself in the pink bubble here. Yeah, I think in the pink bubble is a place where you're learning things. Look at that. We've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel this is where you get your stability. The place where you're tuning out the world, keeping by yourself, shutting off your phone, getting in the pink bubble, doing some meditation. I feel like you have become the student of the universe, and I feel like you're ready to learn things. It's time to slow things down. I think that's what the Ace of Wands in the reverse is. I'm not I'm not rushing to get on the next path. I'm not running to get into a new relationship. I'm not running out there to help anybody else. I feel like what you're doing is, I feel like the new door that's opening here with this meditation here is realizing that it's your abundance, that it's time for you to settle down, get stability with you. And I feel like this person is pretty stable on that pillow there. I want to say that you're learning to slow down. And Sag, sometimes you do push things, right? Push things along. Like that's Queen of Wands energy, right? You just want to get there. You want to do that thing. You want to accomplish the thing. And I feel like you're trying to get yourself to slow down just a little bit. The Ace of Pentacles is telling me that rather than taking the Ace of Wands, which is the place where we go, that you're taking it with the Ace of Pentacles, which is abundance. It's the opening the door to something that's very grounded and solid, moving slow. Let's go over details. I think you're learning because the Page of Swords is here. You're coming to some sort of new intellectual sort of energy that's telling you that it's time to face some things with clarity, but it's also time to slow down and take it slowly. That you will get to your abundance either way, whether you're on the Ace of Wands path or whether you're on the Ace of Pentacles path, you will get to your abundance either way, but I think you're learning to slow down. Tell me about the Chariot, please. Tell me about the Chariot. We have the Three of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Two of Swords. I feel like you held on to something that was really deep down within you. It's like somebody here did not show you the kind of affection. They did not bring the love to the surface. I feel like you were the person from your side. Everything was going okay, so you thought everything was all right. I don't know if this is a friendship or if this is a love relationship, but I feel like I'm talking about this in a general term here, Sagittarius, that you're the person who always puts so much energy in. You always go in 100%, right? You're either out or you're in, but there's no halfway between for Sagittarius. But I feel like you are that you are deciding to release some of the pain that you've been feeling, and that it's time for you to take back control, right? The Chariot, for you to take back control of your stability and the balance of your emotions. And I feel like with the Page of Wands, it's telling me that that you'll know when you've come to a place that you are in this healing phase, that you'll feel happier, you'll feel more excited, you'll feel like you're no longer drained, that you want to start doing things, right? The Page of Wands is here. It's exciting and fun and flirty, and it's like now I've got the energy to get up and do it, and it's because I feel like you're releasing the Three of Swords here. The Two of Swords is here, and I feel like your eyes were covered because there was something you didn't want to see, and I think the thing you didn't want to see is that the World card is here. You didn't want to see that it's over. Whatever it is, if it's a friendship, a job, a relationship, whatever it is to you, it's done. And I feel like you're finally starting to come into an acceptance of this thing. Finally, you're accepting that it's over. And it's the only way that you can move forward here. Tell me what Sag is supposed to do next. Tell me what the outcome is. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Sun. I like it. And then we have the High Priestess. So it's having an understanding of the intuitive self, of the intuitive self. I feel like you're highly intuitive and you're getting back in touch with your psychic energy. It almost feels like that energy was dulled by this situation, it's like you thought that this was going to work out, Sag. You were so sure, you had a knowing that it was going to work out, but it didn't. It didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And I feel like the Sun coming out and the High Priestess here is telling me that you can trust your intuition, that this thing may be over for now, but maybe it's not over forever. I feel like the Sun is getting you to trust your intuition about love, that maybe maybe some of you were wrong about the situation, and maybe it wasn't supposed to work out. Maybe you thought that it was going to. Maybe you thought you had a knowing. But listen, if you have a knowing, maybe it means that it's not right now. Maybe it's off in the future. We don't know that, right? But the Sun is here with the High Priestess, and I feel like that if this is about love, and we do have the Ace of Cups here, or maybe this is really just the love of self, that the Sun is shining on the High Priestess and the Ace of Cups. It could be the love of self and your intuition, that if you love yourself, your intuitive energy becomes stronger as you continue to trust yourself. When the Sun comes out, you're not hiding anything. Nothing hides from the Sun, but you are going through a growth spurt. It's happiness. And I feel like you're happy to know that if you love the self, that the High Priestess is here to tell you when you get an intuitive notion, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And I think that going forward from here, that you will have some sort of high intuition and the clarity that you need. I want to say clarity about the love of self or the love of someone else. Take it as it resonates for you. Then we have the King of Pentacles. It gives you stability ultimately. Ultimately, you go to a place where you're settled, solid, sturdy, moving slowly, right? Going over details, and I'm no longer going to be charging at things. It almost feels like there was something here that maybe it was dealing with soulmates, possibly, that you thought it was going to come together. And like I said, Sag, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come together ever. It means that you need to cut the strings, you need to close the door, you need to wield the sword, whatever it is, and you need to close the door on this thing so you can finally move forward. Because I feel like somebody was holding on for way too long and it was draining your energy. But I feel like you had to go through some sort of an awakening here to realize that there is a new path here. And I feel like for some of you, that path is coming up and it's right around the corner. I feel like you had to have that awakening or that new ascension to remind you that it's time to move forward here. Yeah, I feel like there is no communication between you and somebody else here. And I feel like it's, for those of you who are thinking that this is a relationship, it's like there's nothing to be said here. The Eight of Wands is in the reverse. It's silent. So I feel like you need to keep focused on yourself, focused on your pentacle world. That's what it looks like, Sag. And yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it right here. I hope you're well, Sag. Thank you so much for looking here, for coming and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. Bye-bye.